Hey there, welcome to the week 3 video overview. This week we're working on sections 2.4 through 2.6. That has to do with rates of change, solving problems that are like word problems, using linear equations, and transformations of functions. Transformations are reflections, translations, and dilations, which essentially means flipping things, moving things, and stretching things. So transformations of functions. Also, we have lab 2 due, and I'll talk a little bit more about lab towards the end of this video. Okay, so big purpose, big picture. Several thousands of years ago, some smart people figured out that basically we can use linear equations to understand even the most complicated situations. Essentially, at a microscopic level, all complicated graphs and situations appear to be millions of tiny little line segments. In fact, this is how you are actually seeing all of the curves and images and things like that on the screen that you're viewing this video on. So, calculus is a way of analyzing all these millions of little line segments and then putting all the information back together to understand the entire system. Thus, being an expert on all things linear, writing linear equations, solving linear equations, simplifying linear equations, graphing linear equations, being an expert at all those things is paramount to being an expert at calculus. Okay, so sticking points, there's a lot of new formulas coming up. Maybe some of them seem recognizable, but a lot of them are abstract and they all kind of blend together for a lot of folks. So keeping track of all the formulas and which formula to use when can be a particular stumbling block. Also, there's a lot of new vocabulary coming in. Also, the vocabulary isn't always intuitively obvious. So keeping track of vocabulary and how it makes sense and how it's used can be really important. For example, we oftentimes say something is a function of something, like S is a function of R. And when a math person says S is a function of R, what they're trying to communicate is that the Y variable is represented by the letter S and the X variable is represented by the letter R. So you can literally just replace all S's with Y's and all R's with X's. And they don't have to use S and R, they can use A and B, or of course they can use Y and X like we're used to using. This is abbreviated as S parentheses R parentheses, and that, if you're not really used to it, can be a stumbling block. Okay, so keeping all that stuff in mind, you need to find a way to organize all these formulas and vocabulary words that make sense for you. So whatever method makes sense to you, I typically have a section in my notebook that I have dedicated, and I write down every new formula and when it's used and what the letters mean and things like that. That's just my learning style. So you got to find something that works well for you so you can keep everything organized. As the semester goes on, we're going to get more and more and more and more formulas, and it'll be overwhelming if you haven't started early in the semester organizing all this stuff so it's easy to find and easy to practice. Okay, enough said. Reminder, Lab 2 is due this Friday. Now, Lab 2 is the first lab where we actually have like pre-calculus problems. So, got to remind you that these lab assignments are designed to build a conceptual understanding. You're not just doing a bunch of problems and practicing a formula. You're building sort of a theoretical or at least a deep understanding of what's going on. This is oftentimes requiring a lot more thinking and a lot more work. They are sometimes designed to move you out of your normal comfort zone of just trying to find the right formula and really think about why something's working and when it's working. So therefore, the lab assignments tend to be pretty challenging. Feel free to collaborate together on those kinds of things. Feel free to have me help you with those. I'm happy to help you with the lab assignments. The LMC Math Lab has trained math tutors to help you with these lab assignments. If possible, work on the lab assignment earlier than later so that if you come across any questions or need help on anything, you're not going to get stressed out about the due dates and the deadline coming up. Once I post the answers for lab assignments, I don't accept any late lab assignment work, probably for obvious reasons once the answers have been posted. Okay, so about all of that stuff, please reach out, let me know how I can help you. Please try to figure out how to get all this stuff organized, and if it's not working, let me know so I can help you figure that out. Have an enjoyable week. Hopefully I'll talk to you sometime soon.